There's been a lot of conversation lately about women leaving good men or women walking away from a man that's a quote unquote good man. And I think a part of the problem is that a lot of men define themselves as good men and they actually aren't.
No, there's plenty of good men out there. You're just a horrible person. You're trying to or redefine what a good man is so that way you can justify your bad decisions and feel less horrible about just being a terrible person, really. You're scum. Just so you know, this woman likes to spout a lot of things as facts and then jumps from point to point and never actually backs it up. So I am going to be interrupting her a lot more than frequently than normal, just because she's just wrong so often that I have to keep interrupting.
These self proclaimed good men think that they are because they don't cheat on women or beat on women.
Yeah, that already is a good start. That's already hard to find. And you don't have to take my word for it or my opinion for it. Go ask women. Go on TikTok. You see these hundreds of thousands of videos every single day of women 30, 40, 50 complaining because there's no good men left and they're all cheaters and they're all abusers and blah, blah, blah. That's a great start. So, like, what else do you want? Something tells me it's gonna have something to do with money, right? It's not just men too, by the way. A lot of women cheat and are abusive too. So if you have a good one, you need to appreciate them, guys. Men or women. And there's tons of good men out there. It's just most of these women friend zone them, and then they date the bad boys, and then they complain how men suck. And that's not men's fault. That's again women's fault for choosing the bad boys.
But it takes more to being a good man than not doing those things.
Okay, what else do you have to do? She doesn't say. We know what it is. It's have money and spoil her and stuff. But she's just gonna ignore it and then so she has like a false premise and then that doesn't back it up or anything. But let's keep listening.
And just because a man is a quote unquote good man doesn't mean he's the good man for you.
And that's actually the first halfway intelligent thing you said all day. However, the thing she's forgetting, all these videos and stuff about women leaving a good men, they're not talking about breaking up because you're dating. They're talking about divorce. Like all these videos that went viral are like, I left a good husband. And that's not cool. By then you're married. So if he's not a good man you shouldn't have married him. That's your fault. By then you made a promise to God, you made a vow. Like it's too late at that point. Like if he wasn't the right man, you shouldn't have married him. That's on you, sister.
Some of these quote unquote good men don't respect women. They weaponize their incompetence. They don't take care of their children.
So my guess is if a man never cheats and never hurts they probably do respect women because those are signs of being respectful. Those are signs of being a gentleman. They're signs of being old fashioned and traditional. That their mom raised them right, or their grandma raised them right. That sort of thing. As far as the other stuff like incompetence, who says they're incompetent? This comes largely down to just self subjectivity, I guess. For example, I do the dishes sometimes and help out. I was taught by my parents how to do it. My mom, she had her way to do it. And then I dated a couple girls in college and stuff. They each had their own way to do stuff. And then had a couple long term relationships after that, like 10 years or so. They had different ways of doing it. Each and every girl was like insisting their way to do dishes was correct or their way to do laundry was correct. And if you didn't do it their way, you were the incompetent boyfriend or male. And it's like, what? What? No, I'm. So yeah, largely subjective there. So okay, disrespectful, wrong, incompetent, wrong. I don't remember a third thing, but it's probably wrong too. She's just like spouting off stuff like it's facts, and she's not providing any evidence or support of those facts. That's just her opinion. Your opinion, man, is not fact. Okay, I went back and looked it up. They don't take care of their children. Yeah, maybe if you're separated and you dated the bad boys and they don't pay child support or something. But most men that are married and living together with their wife and their family and their kids. They take care of their kids. They have the house and the kids. And how do you think they have the house? Because he's working full time. Now she might work too sometimes, but he's working really hard to take care of them. Usually, by the way, in these situations, it's like his money is their money to pay the bills and rent and everything, and then her money is her money to have fun and buy purses and bags and shoes. Not always. Some good relationships, they do split 50-50 and pay for double stuff, but this seems to be like the case a lot of the times. Definitely more so than the reverse. I've never seen she pay for everything, and then the man have all the play money for his video games and Xbox. That's never how it works.
They're disrespectful. They consume manosphere, red pill content all day, and they think
So what's wrong with consuming red pill content? Like, let's be real. They try to act like it's so bad. It's just like men's rights, or we want equality too. What's wrong with that? Women consume feminist content 24/7, whether they realize it or not. Just subtle messages sent all over culture in your music and your ads and your TV and movies. So what's wrong with men listening to a podcast? There's nothing wrong with it. But of course, they're trying to make us look like we're bad people, like men going their own way. Okay, we don't want to date. We, or at least not back home, not them. What's so bad about that? It's not our fault. They're the problem.
that women are beneath them. I feel like the men who are acting as if women are being too picky or we're looking for the perfect man if we don't want the quote unquote good guy, it's the same energy as saying for them to settle. It's
But you are being too picky. You do have huge unrealistic expectations. I've done videos on it. We've all heard the testament. There's hundreds of thousands of testimonies and TikToks and everything else. Go check out my other two videos after this video about how much money does a man have to make to date you and how much money should a man pay on the first date. Go check out those two videos. Those answers will blow your mind. They're not even wanting men to make 100K anymore. They're talking about 200K, 500K, a million, several million a year. And then like how much you pay on the first date, 1,000, 7,000, a couple thousand, pay their rent. Like all this nonsense. Like what? A first date? Are you kidding me? What happened to like coffee or one drink or a walk in the park and getting to know each other? And I realize not all women are like that, but a large set are, especially these ones on TikTok promoting this nonsense, these dating coaches and gurus, and they're trying to influence the younger generation. And men have had enough. Like, that's why they're like, no, I'm just not dealing with it. I can take him out. Like that one video I did, he took him out to the Cheesecake Factory, which I think is a pretty good restaurant. And she like flipped out. Like, this ain't 5 star. I'm too good for this. And he's like, well, you're leaving. You're going home because you're a spoiled brat.
like the saying goes, give a man 10 women and he'll keep looking. Give a woman 10 men and she'll choose. They want you to choose out of this small batch of men and say, hey, out of these 10 guys, which one do you want?
First off, we know this isn't true. uh, that's how women monkey branch and how hypergamy works and all that stuff. They're always looking. They're always looking too. So don't pretend you're not. They got a nice man. Oh, well, just keep my eyes out over the horizon. Oh, he's taller. Oh, he's richer. Oh, he's got more friends. He's funny. So they always try to monkey branch to that richer, taller dude, the more attractive dude. And they always have the male orbiters and the people in their side pocket, people in their back pocket, their friends with benefits, their ex-boyfriends, the people they can call that their friends zoned, but they know they can hook up with at any time. Like, they have so many options. That's why when they break up, they jump from one relationship to another and they don't take time to rest and heal. It's not healthy. It's not good. Any counselor will tell you that, but they do it all the time. And second, she's complaining about not having option 10. Like, where's this 10? In this day and age, it's not like you live in a small town in Minnesota or something and you can't find anybody. Oh, I gotta go to New York to find out. No, it doesn't work that way anymore. Online and the internet, they have literally, if you're decently attractive at all, they have hundreds of thousands of people blowing up their dating apps and stuff all over the country. They can fly you out to California or Miami or something, like if they really wanted to. But so this whole like, oh, there's only 10 guys you gotta choose from, like it's already encouraged. She's just spouting nonsense. I don't know where. Like she's got her own ideas, and I guess she believes her own lies. So she's lied to herself enough that she believes it. But like as I'm pointing out step by step every few seconds, just absolutely destroying her arguments because they're completely invalid. Third, and most importantly, this whole like you gotta choose from your 10 whatever. At this point, these videos again are talking about women that left good husbands, and she still hasn't defined why they're not good or not. But let's keep going. They left good husbands because they had to choose out of a small group, whatever. You already chose. So, like this whole, oh, it's justified. No, it's not. Like, you literally got married already. You are a married woman. You made a vow. If you don't know what a vow is a sacred promise. It's a promise to God, to family, to friends. If you don't believe in God, it's a promise to everyone around you, your loved ones, the state, the country, that this is my person for life. Remember those vows, for better or worse. You always forget that or worse part. Good times and bad, good health and bad health, rich or poor. They don't like that one either, or the bad health. They forget all that. But it's like you already made a promise, a sacred promise, and you're like, oh, I don't have a lot of choice. You already made your choice. It's too late. Sorry. But that there's no accountability anymore. Do they care? No. They don't care at all. Like, who cares? It's just a promise. Like, people break promises all the time, but it's a vow. They don't understand that a vow is much more serious. Like when a man makes a vow, usually 9 out of 10 times they take it very seriously. Like, and that's why men aren't the ones that leave. Women are the ones that initiate divorce 9 out of 10 times, usually over money. But men don't do that. Men, we realize like we made that decision and we stick by that decision.
Yeah, but there's more than 10 guys out there. And even if he's the nicest out of the 10, doesn't mean that he's what I want.
Yeah, yeah, we know what you want. Just someone tall and rich, and even then, you'll still get tired of them and looking for someone else.
These men want single women to say, close enough, he's good enough, he'll do.
So she's talking about not settling here, and I actually agree with the concept of not settling. However, there's a big but here, a big caveat. Women have huge unrealistic expectations often, and they have huge inflated egos and think way too much of themselves. Like an average woman would absolutely not date an average guy. Like a five won't date a five because they think they're a seven because they get like 1,000 compliments on social media and dating apps and stuff. And a lot of those guys might hook up with them and might date them, but no one's gonna marry her. So they have these huge egos, huge unrealistic expectations. They think they're God's gift to Earth, and they're really not. I actually saw a great example of this. Two of my friends, well, one my friend and one my ex's friend, they would have been great together. He was short and a little bit older, like mid 40s, and she was mid 30s and overweight, like not just a little bit, like a good bit, like morbidly obese, overweight. But they're both like decent, like average looking. He's losing a little bit of hair, a little bald up here, and short guy, and she's plump and big, and I think divorced or had a kid or something. Anyways, just two average people. They would have been really good together. They actually had a lot in common, and they both love to go to the bars and drink a lot. Not not a good hobby, but they did have that in common. But she absolutely refused to date him because she saw him as beneath her. Like trying to introduce them, like, yeah, you guys would be great together. You have so much in common. And she's like mad, like, how dare you? You don't think I can do better than that? Like, he's beneath me. I'm like, really? Because you both look like 4 or 5s to me, you know? Well, granted, I'm not, whatever, but it's hard for me to judge dudes, but he's just an average guy and she's just an average girl. But she thinks she's God's gift to the world and can do so much better. And she really couldn't. The guy she ended up with eventually was just another average Joe. He's a big dude, you know, thin hair and stuff. But it's like, I guess she just didn't want someone short. Who knows? But it just proves my point.
But that's not what men say. They take their time. They're in no rush to find what they want, but they want to rush you along. They want to make you feel like you're up against the clock. You're running out of time. Your childbearing years are over. That's why they try to tell you that after 25 you're no good and all that. They have a vested interest in trying to hurry you up and picking one of them because they know if you actually took your time, they wouldn't even get picked.
So she's trying to make a good point, but she's actually confusing a couple different things. Men take their time to get married. We don't want to rush because we have more to lose. It has nothing to do with what she's talking about. It's because like the divorce courts are so stacked against men that it's completely unfair to the point where it's basically thief like robbery at this point, or how women just usually win, like de facto win, and then or like child support and other things. How a man could these days they don't even have to get married; they can just live together. Or some states live together a couple days, like California and stuff, and then they still lose everything. Like you can't even cohabitate. So that's why men take their time, because they have more to lose. Very rarely will a woman lose the same thing that a man does, except for a couple of extreme cases, like some rich Hollywood celebrities, stay-at-home dad. But not like 99.9 out of 100 times, like the man's gonna lose more. As far as women taking their time and stuff, that's fine. Like if a woman really wants to take her time to pick a good man, that's fine. I don't have anything against that. I think most men don't have anything against that. What she's talking about, like, oh, your eggs and you gotta hurry, that's just biology. That's just common sense. That's just science. That's just facts. You don't have to like those facts, but they're still facts. It's still science. And it's still going to happen at the end of the day. And men want the younger woman because they just do. It's just how men are. It's biology. You just blame God. You can blame evolution. You can blame whatever you want. But it's just how they're wired. And then don't have to like it, but again, it's just science. Again, when we're talking about these women that left good men, we're not talking about dating, and we're not talking about making sure you wait and choose the right one. All these viral videos, I left the good guy, I left the good husband, I left the perfect man. They were all married, every single one of them. And they were preaching to others that it's okay. It's okay to leave a good husband. And it's not okay. It is totally not okay. It's bad enough, like the divorce rate is bad enough with all the crap that actually does happen out there, all the bad stuff that happens out there, that like that's why men aren't getting married anymore, because of how bad it is. And a lot of women too aren't either for that reason. But it's like that crap is bad enough. We don't need people making promises. I'll be your life partner, and then saying, "Oh, you were a fantastic guy, but I'm not happy for whatever reason. Usually because you don't make enough money, so I'm going to leave you now." And then I'm going to try to justify it and say you're not a good man when you were. You were a great husband. That's like, and you wonder why men quit dating. You wonder why men have quit trying. You wonder why men have gone their own way, or why men have grabbed passports and gone overseas. And we're like, get the hell out of this country. This country's falling apart. These women are crazy. These women have huge unrealistic expectations. These women aren't grateful. They're not loyal. They don't appreciate us. And you wonder why that is. Right here, this lady, right here, and others like her. Go check out my other video, part 1, of all the other ladies. See, this lady, I had to do a whole video just for her to respond to each one of her parts. Right here. And this is why men go to the Philippines and find more traditional conservative wives, to find better wives, to find better girlfriends, because of people like her. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Sorry I interrupted her a little bit more than normal, but she just talks so much and goes from point to point to point to point without actually making a point or verifying anything or showing any evidence of that point. She just kept going, spouting nonsense all the time. But there was just so much nonsense that I literally had to keep interrupting her just to address point by point every time she was wrong. So if you got to the end, thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient with me. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and you guys mean the world to me, and it helps me to keep doing content like this and help you guys, and I enjoy it too. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to. I do more videos like this, reacting to American women, and also just traveling overseas, traveling in the Philippines, retiring young, doing Filipinos, being a digital nomad, like how you do it, how you support it, and all that. So if you want videos like that, like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. God bless. Peace.